Mel, everybody, I'm Cantonese Cat. Hey everybody, Cantonese Cat here. I haven't done an exclusive video on SOFI for a very long time. I have talked about SOFI a lot, previously as well as recently. We have a live stream over at the YouTube channel at Mal and Man with the Triumphants with the Great Masby and the Tesla Truck Guy. And I've talked about that, and I was probably the only cat person who was really bringing a perspective in terms of why SoFi could potentially be bottom up and why it doesn't have to go all the way down to the fives. And I was kind of showing different signals, things like that. So I'm going to share with you some of the things I'm seeing here. I have been thinking that anything that's below $8 is going to be a good buy. Price has really just oscillated around $8 ever since I would say almost like March of 2022. It's just been oscillating around $8 for a very long time. So every single time when it gets underneath $8, I think it's a good buy. Whenever it gets above $8, I'm like, I'm okay. I might keep buying some, but I probably wouldn't be like that aggressive. So I've been really DCAing into this stock. I even like really start buying up here, to be completely honest with you. But that was also back in the days when anyway. I did average down all the way down. I definitely averaged down a lot more down here, and as price went up, I did slow down my average up over here. And as it was going down, I continued to average down over here. So right now, price is above my cost average. I do think that things are just oscillating around $8, and I do think $8 means something. So I'm going to show you some other indicators to show you why $8 means something. And I also want to show you that I'm not really like a delusional bull. There are a few things that I see that I'm a little bit concerned about. The bullish thing I'm going to show first here is this unbalanced volume. When you have this downtrend here for the last half a year, it's really happening on declining volume. The interesting thing is that even though these look like really bearish volume candles, right? High volume selling, right? Oh no. Look at this high volume candle over here. Like, it didn't really move the price much. Like this candle, yeah, it moved price down, but it's not like a capitulation candle by any means, right? And over here, like this big giant red over here is actually a green candle, right? So I think that overall the huge selling volume does not really reflect what price was doing, and that's what the unbalanced volume is telling you. Actually, the unbalanced volume is up, even though price has gone down. This is a very clear bullish divergence. It basically just tells you there's a lot of buying pressure behind the scenes. Over the last half a year, that's not really reflected on price, and it's also not really reflected on volume unless you do some special calculations to look at volume using unbalanced volume. You can see this very, very nice bullish divergence. What it means is just there's a lot of secret buying pressures behind the scenes. Is there any secret buying pressures behind the scenes as price went from like, over $10 all the way down to the low sixes? Well, let's see what the institutions have been doing. Per Fintel.io, the data for institutional ownership has gone exponentially up, especially for the months of June and May, when price was really just plummeting down here on declining volume. They're just really sneaky. Like, these whales are just really sneaky. Another thing too to kind of show you, looking at the MCDX Plus, you can see that whales are coming back in. Wherever you have a trend change like that, you can anticipate potentially a very, very strong move up. Whenever your trend change like that, you can potentially anticipate a potential move up, right? And we just recently have that kind of trend change here on the weekly chart. The retail the percentage has significantly dropped. Now, I would argue that even during this with this whale signal downtrend, the whales have been buying behind the scene, but they're just really, really good at hiding their intentions. So it's not even showing up on these like volume based calculator in terms of whalish momentum. Like, it's not even showing up here until they really start to appear, until they really start to try to pump the stock. And they've been starting to pump the stock. The problem with the current price action, there are a few problems. First of all, we are at a lot of different resistance. You can see that this is RSI weekly negative trendline resistance. We're hitting that resistance right there, close to about $8, right? You remember how important $8 is. It's unfortunately, it's a confluence zone, is a resistance right there. So I don't know whether or not we're going to break through $8 right away, unless it was Tesla. I can show you, that in a second. But I don't know whether or not it's just going to break through right away. It could end up, consolidating, maybe make another handle kind of thing down here before, really truly pushing up. Or unless it just wants to go impulsive, then it can break the $8 zone. That would be extremely bullish because it would break it about this, RSI over here. Now, another thing too is we are, again, right underneath resistance, right? Remember I was talking about $8 being a very important zone over here. It's going to be the bottom of the Ichimoku cloud. It's also going to be the bottom of the Tsukuichi cloud. And also going to be around this baseline over here, the Tsukuichi. So there's a lot of confluence here at $8 zone. Like, you don't really need me to show you these fancy indicators. You can see it just looking at how important $8 is. Like, you don't need any fancy things to tell you that, So there are some positive things that are happening is reclaiming the bull market support band. And the reason why I see a lot of potential correlate between where price is right now versus when Tesla broke out, you reclaim the bull market support band and you're hitting the Tenkan Nikkei as resistance. You're trying to challenge the cloud. And when Tesla did it, it just broke right through, back tested the cloud, and here you are. For SOFI, I'm not sure the same thing is going to happen. It looks like it might want to entertain doing the same thing, but you're right, getting close right at resistance here, around $8. So I'm not going to be short-term that bullish. I do want to accumulate more under $8 because I love Jackie Chan. So I do want to accumulate more down here. And it wouldn't be a gift if I can get a little bit more down and then wait for more support band to kind of push up, to push through the Ichimoku cloud over here, right? I'm just not sure whether or not it's going to pull a Tesla. That's all. And you can't really blame me for being a little bit more cautious here for SOFI. And I'm also a little bit greedy. I want to buy more under 8. So I think that that's pretty much the key thing. Now I do want to show you that this kind of oscillating around the bull market support band and these kinds of look over here, I see this throughout the bull market over the last year or two in various things. This really do, like if I pull up a 2-week over here, I will show you, because SOFI has moved a lot slower than Bitcoin, right? This really does remind me very much of what Bitcoin was doing. If I can pull it up. And I'm going to turn off the Tsukuichi. I'm going to change it to a weekly chart here. I'm going to get rid of all of these labels here. What I really do want to show you is the bull market support band, which is going to be right there. And I do see a lot of correlate between, I'm going to put it up here. You see the fractal that I'm talking about? You see what I see. I think you see what I see. Downtrend, oscillating around the bull market support band. Looks like it was able to reclaim it here, but nope, broke underneath of it. That's a little bit of a false breakdown that happened for about, many, many months. And finally, you have a very impulsive green candle that breaks back above the bull market support band. The bull market support band looks a little bit more flattened, right? And I think this candle over here really does remind me of this candle over here. Maybe it's just the appearance. Maybe, fractals don't always have to work out. But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of remind me in terms of what I'm seeing here between SOFI and Bitcoin. And I posted about this before. It'd be like really amazing if it actually end up working out. I don't anticipate this though, unless it pulls a Tesla and just breaks a bunch of resistance, or unless it pulls a Bitcoin and just breaks a bunch of resistance. But I am starting to turn, more bullish on it longer term. If it breaks, it could end up going up in a hurry. If it breaks the current level around $8, let me just tell you what SOFI does. Over the last 3 years, whenever it goes down in stairs. It is very, very slow. And all of this can get erased by just 4 weeks. If it goes down, it can go down in stairs and goes really slow. All of this can get erased by 4 weeks. If it goes down, the bears are getting their knees hurt. They're in pain, right? And all of this can get erased by 5 weeks, right? And they've been taking the stairs down for about 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. I I would not be surprised if it hits 14. If especially IWM does really well, especially if liquidity is flowing into fintech, into small caps. I would not be surprised if it hits like 14 in a hurry. I don't know whether or not it's going to, because it is at resistance right here. So I don't want anybody, like, none of this is financial advice. I'm just talking about stocks. I'm telling what I'm doing. It's supposed to be entertaining, so laugh, but it's underneath resistance. So be cautious. I would not go crazy with like leverage plays, call options short term, which they're subject to a bunch of decay. I would not do that. But I'm just telling you, like, every stock has their own personality, and SoFi looks like it may want to SoFi, whatever that means. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Have a good one. Bye.